Doing fine.
Good, good. So I'm doing a little bit of research on a concept that I have for a notification system for customers of a water and sewer company. The concept would be that customers could set a limit and then be notified as they were either approaching or had reached that limit or even exceeded it to kind of help them have a little bit more control and awareness over their usage. So, if you don't mind me asking, are you on city water by chance?
No, I'm not. I'm on well.
Okay.
I've been on one for approximately well, since 1970, so 47 years. Um, I prefer that over city water. For one thing, it has no chlorine. I pay no minimum bill. I pay strictly for my own usage. If I decide to water the yard, I do not have to pay a sewer bill just because I'm watering my yard. I have no problem with septic tank where I'm at. Now, people in low-lying areas probably do, or ones that have elevated septic tanks because they have to have a elevated drain field because they have to have a lift station. Power goes out, their toilet's out.
Mhm.
Don't have that problem. So I don't have to. The only thing I have to depend on utility-wise for my comfort is electric lights, and I have a generator for that. If I need it, if I go out for too long a time. So to me, that is a big benefit over city utilities, and I'm not at mercy of the city or county.
That can be a good thing, especially how they've been increasing costs
And the concept
consistently.
of monitoring the system or setting a limit, they would have to either have some kind of flow meter that would automatically cut off at a certain amount, hooked to your system,
Mhm.
or they would have to monitor it 24/7, which gets expensive.
Right.
And usually most companies don't want to go to that expense. Um, so that's another thing, and the only way to have that would be to pass it on to the customers, which there again, your system, your utility bill goes up.
Right.
Um, Now, advantage of it is if they monitored it constantly and detected a sudden surge, might mean a book pipe.
Right.
But then again, that might be for that particular time you use some more water for some reason.
Mhm.
Uh, Maybe washing all day long or something other. Uh, so it's hard to tell. So even if you monitor it constantly, but some people have recycled water for watering their yards. Some places don't. So if they don't, and you water in your yard, you use more water, it's going to show up on your bill.
Right.
And and if you got sewer service, that's also water in your yard is increase your sewage bill.
Right.
And if you do have recycled water for your yards, then you got two bills, one for recycled water and one for water and sewage.
Yep. That's what I have. We
So
pay
consequently, I hope never to have to go on to a city or county type water service.
So it would be safe to say that your preference is
Is
well
well
and
water.
septic.
I have a good taste of water. I don't have any trouble with my septic tank.
Mhm.
In 47 years, I replaced my pump one time,
Wow.
and when I did start picking up a little bit of sediment, I just put a whole house sediment filter out there, change it once every 3 months.
Do you still do
Cost me
that?
about $5.
You change it once every 3 months still?
Or when I notice the pressure going down at the house, but my pump's okay,
Oh, okay.
and either one, and it don't, and usually costs about $3 to $5 to change it. Uh, and so it's very easy to maintain. Uh, every so often you have to need to check the air in the bladder tank to keep it regulated uh, for the air volume versus the air water. But other than that, and you don't really have to do that very often. You can tell if you get your pump's getting waterlogged, as they say it, in your tank when you take any shower.
Does the pressure go down?
When you take any shower and water's hitting you in the chest, and then as you're taking your shower, it drops down say to your belly button, and then kicks back on and jumps back up to your chest, and it starts going back down. If it's doing it pretty regular, then you need more air in your tank.
I did not know that.
But if it's hitting on your chest and slowly goes down, almost unnoticeably, then it ain't.
I did not know that.
Water is not compressible. That's the reason you have to have air in your tank. Air is compressible.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have enough air in your tank, when you crack a faucet, your pump comes on.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And you got the right amount of air in there, you crack your faucet. Several minutes go by before your pump comes on.
That makes sense. Mm. Well, it has to be nice to not have that $100 to $200 water bill every month.
All I have is an electric bill.
Electric bill, right. How much does your pump contribute to that electric bill every month?
And what's the electric bill run?
Our electric bill runs about $130 maybe.
That's not bad.
Sometimes 150.
So
So
do you know how much, does the pump use a lot of electricity?
No, I've got pumps, well pumps. A lot of them are what they call convertible, 110 or 220.
Mm-hmm.
I run mine on 220. 220 is more economical. Plus, there's less wear and tear on the motor.
Okay.
And so we run it on 220. If I didn't have 220 available, there's a couple of wires I could switch in there and convert it over to 110. But I got 220, so I run it on 220. Like I say, it's more economical electrical wise, and it's easier on the motor. The motor don't have to work as hard on 220, and so your motor lasts longer.
That makes sense. Well, it really can't use that much electricity if in Florida your electric bill is only $130. I mean, that's...
But
no, I would say probably only about maybe 20 bucks a month, because with the heat and air conditioning and the dryer and all of the other electrical appliances would run it.
If that.
Yeah,
I mean, my
exactly.
electric bill
how
far
big is
exceeds that.
the pump? I would say for an appliance, it's probably the smallest of all our uses, electrical uses, because you have a 50 amp stove that you cook on.
Mm-hmm.
You it's a 20 amp, but it's I think it's either 7,500 watt hot water heater, but it's 20 amp. But the hot water heater depends on how much you use hot water. Now with us, with just the two of us here now, we don't use that much of it, and like we did versus having a family, our kids here. So the biggest probably usage is probably the air conditioner, because it's for a 1,400 square foot house, and of course you got a 30 amp breaker for the air compressor, and a 20 amp breaker for the air handler. And if you kick it up too fast for heat, the heat strips comes on. That's like turning on an electric heater, and that likes to let that meter spin fast, which we don't usually do. And it's a heat pump type air conditioner, which is more economical than an air conditioner heater or an air conditioner furnace.
Really? I did not know that. So does it pump directly to the hot water heater? Or does it heat it
No.
at the pump?
No, a heat pump, what it does, it takes, your pressure basically runs one way if you got it on cool, and it takes the heat out of the air. It's absorbed in the pipes, and when the fan out there on that compressor is blowing, it's blowing that heat off them coils. taking the heat out of those pipes, and it's pumping back in cooler Freon to cool your air. And then if you want to heat, you flip it over to heat. It basically does just the opposite. It's taking heat out of the air and pumping it into the house through the use of Freon and a compressor.
Got it.
And it's more economical. Is kind of liking it to the compressor on your refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
What it's doing is taking the heat out of the air and blowing colder air back into your freezer and refrigerator.